Thank you for joining us. We are Marie Elsie
And
Ade, and
Judith Pasley,
we are
best
best
friend
friends
on
on
Friends on
drugs.
Drugs.
Like I said, one of these days, one of these days. So
One of these days.
how was your week?
My week was great. Everything is looking just bright and sunshiny.
I'm kind of like optimistic for the new year, even though there's a lot of doom and gloom.
Yeah.
My motto is why worry about things that has not happened yet. So I think I'm gonna have to keep thinking that. It's like, hey, this is going to happen. Okay, it hasn't happened yet. So when it happens, it will. Let me prepare myself in the event it happens, but I should not be worried about what will happen that hasn't happened yet.
And you know what? We've muddled through other things, so everything will be fine.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
what I think.
like, so this is the thing. I'm like, okay, I know that stress and cortisol increase my blood sugar. So I do everything necessary not to increase my blood sugar.
And you have to. You have to take care of yourself. You have to focus on yourself. And like I said, I just went to my first visit ever with a cardiologist. So
Oh, how did that go?
that went pretty well. EKG came out fine. Told me to just continue what I'm doing. Work with my nutritionist. Gotta get that one a call, and just keep going from there because you know what? You just got to take care of yourself.
Did he
And
say
yes, I'm
anything
back in the
about
gym.
lifting? Did he say anything about lifting weight?
She told me to continue to be active. Yes, she told me to go to the gym.
Not just cardio, but to also lift weight.
Yes, not just a fork to my mouth. I am doing more than that. Okay. So
Or
it's all working out.
what did you tell me again? Let me see. When I said did you lift weight?
I said, yeah.
Yeah, you lifted your fat ass when you went to go exercise. That was the only thing that you're lifting, which is your fat ass. That's what you said,
And guess what? I am down 5 pounds. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah.
which is
So
more than I can say.
so it's a good thing. I'm in the right direction. So I'm happy.
That is great. That is great. Well, what are we talking about today? Did you see the
I'm
Instagram
gonna
reel?
say I'm gonna say that it's only a few days into the new year, and every day has brought something interesting and challenging that you're just like, seriously, it's really. But you know what? Have a wonderful topic. Once again, it's healthcare, it's the insurance, and it involves United Healthcare and a doctor during surgery.
Well, so I think that since the Luigi Mangione affair, that
Hmm.
people have gotten more aware of insurance practices because before it was like in the background and they didn't really care or like they were like asleep. That's what I want to say. They were asleep about I guess everybody's gonna be woke now.
Even those that don't want to wake up. But yeah, you're just going to have to be woke. You're going to have to be conscious about, health care and your insurance.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it seems like everybody has awakened to the fact that insurance companies have like some shady practices that they, like for-profit insurance companies, of course, have some shady practices that they do where they deny care and that they kind of like bully, I want to say not bully, but
And,
strong arm the
and,
physicians
and
into
maybe not really
doing,
shady. They just
yeah.
follow their procedures. So following
Yes.
procedures is not really shady. They're just following procedures.
Right. So the procedures that are not in the advantage of the patient or the physician or the provider, that's the procedure that they are following. That that they are following those procedures. So did this doctor I think went viral. So you have more insight into this than I do. So go ahead and
Yes, I actually saw the reel at the Instagram, and it was Dr. Elizabeth Porter. She's based in Austin, Texas, and she created Instagram talking about her experience treating a cancer patient and the roadblocks that she experienced with United Healthcare. Now, just to give you background, she stated that the patient was asleep
Mm-hmm.
when she was about to perform a reconstructive surgery that occurs after mastectomy, and she was interrupted by a call from United Healthcare. And the patient was already asleep, and they demanded information from her about the diagnosis and the inpatient stay justification. And she had just scrubbed in mid surgery to call United Healthcare, only to find that the person on the line didn't have access to the patient's full medical information, despite the procedure had already been pre approved. So she was a
All
little
right.
frustrated.
I think I have the real.
I can see your screen.
It's 2025 and insurance just keeps getting worse. I just did 2 bilateral deeps and 2 bilateral tissue expanders for patients. And I've never had this happen before, but during the second deep, I got a phone call into the operating room saying that United Healthcare wanted me to call them about one of the patients who was having surgery today, who was actually asleep having surgery. And, said I had to call right now. So I scrubbed out of my case and I called United Healthcare, and the gentleman said he needed some information about her, wanted to know her diagnosis and um, whether her inpatient stay should be justified. And I was like, do you understand that she's asleep right now and she has breast cancer? And, the gentleman said, actually, I don't. That's a different department that would know that information. And I was like, well, she does need to stay overnight tonight. And you have all the information with you because I got approval for this surgery, and I need to go back and be with my patient now. But yeah, it's out of control. Insurance is out of control. Uh, I have no other words.
What did the United Health say?
Well,
Because
they
I'm pretty
came back with
sure
this.
that they are playing defense right now because their reputation is like in the toilet.
Yes, it is. And from what I'm reading, United Healthcare told a news outlet that there is no insurance related circumstances that would require a physician to step out of surgery, and it would create potential safety risk if they were to do so. We did not ask nor would ever expect a surgeon to interrupt patient care to answer a call, and we will follow up with the provider and hospital to understand why these unorthodox actions were taken. So that's their statement right now. So they're investigating the issue. It's very interesting. This is beginning of the year, and this is what we get the one of the very first interactions with an insurance company after last year that they're interrupting surgeries, but they claim to have no knowledge about it. So
Right.
we're still
When I
investigating.
when I read the story or when I saw the story, I was a little bit skeptical because I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, you should have already had before surgery because in the like everybody like I've said previously with I work in
Hmm.
a hospital and you work as drug information, right?
Yes,
But the
correct.
process with in the hospital before you go and have surgeries to get first you have to be get pre-approval. Once you get the pre-approval, you also have to get pre-certification, meaning that they have to certify that yes, the surgery is medically necessary. And once you
Hmm.
have the pre-certification that says that the surgery is medically necessary, then you get the pre-approval that yes, they will cover the surgery, right? And I found that it was really odd that they will call the doctor on the day of the surgery to say, oh, we need more information. They should have already gotten all that information
Hmm.
from the insurance company. And reading the comments under that post, I find there were like some physicians that were like saying, under no, even though the insurance companies are out of control, there is no need for you to have scrub back out because you know what it takes to scrub in into a surgery.
I know, which is why it did raise our level of skepticism. Like, did this really happen? But you know, we're gonna find out. They're still
Yeah,
investigating.
let me tell you. this is not new with with insurance companies, in that they have been messing up with physicians and providers forever and a day. I remember a long time ago, I want to say 20 years ago, I had a gynecologist, and I had to
Mm-hmm.
do my annual, okay, my, it was more
Mm-hmm.
than 20 years ago. I had to do my annual exam, and he had to do the pap smear. And you know what they have to do the pap smear.
Yes.
That he did it so rough, Judith, that I was like, actually, tears came down my face.
Oh
And
no.
I said, are you mad at me for some reason? And then he's like, no, why? And I'm like, if it wasn't an exam, I think I would call this the R word. He looked at
Ooh.
me like, and he's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's just that I just got off the phone with an insurance company.
And took
Okay.
it out on you.
And he
Oh
was so
God.
upset that when
Oh
he came to
no.
do the exam, he was still upset. And I'm like, do I look like an insurance company?
And you suffered because of that
Yeah.
conversation.
I'm like, did I look
Oh.
like an insurance company? You know? But it's to tell you that this has, well, needless to say, that was the last time I went to that doctor. And
I would hope so.
yeah, that was the last time. That needless to say, that this has been going on for a while. You and I knew that's what insurances
Hmm.
were doing to providers. When we worked
Yes.
retail, well, when I worked retail, I hated the beginning of the year.
Hmm. Yes.
Bec-
All
because
the rejections and the
oh
new
my God,
cards
the new
and the
insurance deductibles, people that
people
don't know that they have
that have a
deductibles.
deductibles, all the pre-approvals, all
Yep,
of it.
all the pre-approval that you have, prior authorizations that you have to have, that didn't happen. Like just because you had prioritization last year, some prioritization requires that you renew it every year, and then you had prioritization last year, and this year you have to renew it.
Yeah.
And it was like a
Yes.
nightmare to do at the beginning of the year. I don't know how it is now, but
Always.
yeah, it was
I don't think
always
it's
a
any
nightmare.
better. It's not any better. Nothing has gotten better in the process.
Yeah,
People are
I
more aware
think,
of all the work they have to do now.
yeah, I think
So,
because if there's anything that this case, the Manjoni and the Health United Healthcare
yes.
executive has brought to light, is the practices. What, like, people are hyper aware of what's going on with insurance companies. But I have to say though that the providers are kind of like also at fault. Okay. I'm going to tell you why I said they are also at fault. When,
Tell me why.
okay, she's like, tell me why. There is going to be like a conspiracy theory or whatever that's happening. Tell me why.
You know I have one, but go ahead.
Okay. I'm telling you why they are at fault. Because the insurance companies kind of like rope them in by paying them more than the government paid them. Okay. Like, for
For
example,
reimbursements?
for reimbursement, yes. Like the
Hmm.
government will pay, I want to say, I'm making that up already, right? I'm not, this is just an example. Like if the government pays you, like you bill for every dollar that you bill, the government pays you 30 cents, okay?
Okay.
The private insurance companies will pay you 75 cents for every dollar that you bill, okay?
Hmm.
So, who would you like to take? The government that's paying you 30 cents for every dollar that you bill, or
Hmm.
the private insurance that's paying you 75 cents for every dollar that you bill? When there is a law that's coming up that says that we're going to expand healthcare, do you want healthcare to be expended towards the government that's going to pay you 30 cents for every dollar that you bill? Or do you want to give more power to the entity that's giving you 75 cents for every dollar that you bill? Okay. So it was a symbiotic relationship between providers and insurance companies that caused providers to always oppose any laws, any that will restrict insurance companies.
Okay.
okay, that will restrict insurance companies. So now the insurance companies, like, they were bad for them too, but they were getting paid more.
Yes.
It's all
And
about money.
it also limited their span, their scope. They had so many different rules and regulations and criteria they had to meet in
Right.
order to be paid a certain, or to be able to perform. So, looking at it, maybe they're to blame a little bit, but also they're caught in the middle because they
No,
have
I
so much more,
definitely.
a lot more paperwork to
No,
do.
my dentist, she doesn't take insurance. She doesn't take
Oh, I can
insurance.
understand.
She doesn't take
Hmm.
insurance. She said, "Okay, I'll tell you what. This is how much you pay a year." When I did the calculation, it's the same amount of money that I would pay for the PPO, okay? To get,
Wow.
yeah, it's the same amount of money that I would pay for the PPO, and she covers the same thing that the dental insurance will cover. Like,
Wow.
dental insurance is nothing. Like, you still, they cover two cleanings,
Yes.
okay, two cleanings, one X-ray, two cleanings, one X-ray, and then
Hey,
anything else, it's a discount.
so my question is, do you even carry dental insurance
No.
now?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so you just put more in your flex spending account to
Yeah, I just
cover?
put more in my flex spending account, and then I pay her
Okay.
out of that. And then when I look, it was the same amount of money. Have I put the money aside every pay period? It was going to
Yes.
be the same amount of money. And I get the same discount that the insurance would have given me. And I get
Hmm.
the same two cleanings and one x-ray, right? The same two cleanings and one x-ray. And guess what? When you go to the
What?
to the dental office, you get champagne, mimosa.
Well, trust me, I'm not getting that, but I do get mouth rinse, so I'm crushed.
You get champagne, you get mimosa, and you get cocktails. I'm like, do you guys have a bartender back there? So I was like, what kind of cocktail do you get? Do you have? And she's like,
Cosmo?
whiskey and rum.
I tell you, I need a
Hmm.
dentist like that now.
I'm telling you.
Unfortunately, I still pay for my dental care. But in that, as we said, when we first heard this story at the beginning of the year, we couldn't believe it was real.
Right.
But if this doctor was actually interrupted just to justify if the patient should stay overnight, what are we thinking? What are we doing
Yeah,
with our health
especially if the
care?
patient had surgery, especially the patient had surgery. Because my
Yeah,
thing is, the patient had surgery. You have to, there's some surgery that you can go home right after,
yes.
but for like reconstructive
Reconstructive.
breast surgery,
Yeah.
no.
You're gonna have to do a little bit of drainage there, so you're gonna have to be overnight.
Yeah,
So
this was
I
not
thought that was it.
cosmetic. This was not cosmetic surgery that that patient
No,
got a breast implant,
no, this
you
was a
know,
cancer patient with reconstructive surgery. This is serious.
you
But
know.
in thinking about the story, we're just dumbfounded about why didn't this representative, if this actually occurred, did not have the complete file? Where was the lapse on the insurance end to even allow this phone call to be made that had already been certified and authorized?
I'll tell you why. It's because the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. This department doesn't know what
Too.
that other department is doing. And also, the representative, when you call and you ask for physician XYZ and they tell you she's in surgery, that's all you have to say. Please have her call me back.
Yes.
Not like, oh, we need to speak to her right now.
When she's in surgery. So I think there were a lot of failures in their procedure, especially whoever got the doctor out of surgery. I think there's a lot of failures in that whole procedure. The
Well,
hospital interrupting the doctor. So
well,
we have a lot to see.
unfortunately, I think that person probably got fired because they like took the fall for a bad process, right?
Yes.
Because
Hopefully not. Hopefully they didn't get fired.
I think they took the, I'm pretty sure because it's so public that they're like, oh, we're gonna fire you. They they took the fall for a bad
Beginning of the
process.
year. Oh my God, the process is
Yeah,
bad.
they took the fall for a bad process. And I can guarantee you that the reason that they probably was so insistent on having that doctor come out to justify is because
Yes.
they have a quota that they have to meet.
Yes, and we heard about that, that their denial rate is one of the highest, and that's how they make their profits for United Healthcare. So they probably, you're right, they probably had a quota. He was probably assistant, and this person hopefully did not fall, did not lose their job for this incident, for the bad process. But we now know that there are quotas that these representatives must meet and a level of denial. So this is, I'm waiting to see what else happens this year. I mean, I think
Yeah.
there's more to come, especially with healthcare. And that's why we're here, because we are just having a discussion because we're as shocked as everyone else how healthcare has
Right.
changed throughout the years.
As you can, if this is your first time here, my name is Marie Elsie. I'm a director of pharmacy. I'm a pharmacist, and this is
I'm
Judith.
Dr. Judith
Judith
Pasley,
Pasley.
and
We
I
are,
work in the pharmaceutical industry and with many
yeah,
years
she's part
throughout.
of Big Pharma, you all. She's part of Big Pharma.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can say they can say I'm part of the greedy hospital industry.
yeah, yes, that interrupts surgeries, okay, with your bad processes,
Oh,
right?
let not people talk about hospitals, okay? Um,
Oh gosh,
we are pharmacists and we're here to talk about healthcare. Nothing that we say in this video can be constituted as advice or has
yes.
anything to do with our employers. They didn't pay us to have a video, so nothing we say is is concerning
Correct.
them. Is has
We don't even remember them right now.
yeah, it is our own opinion and how we see things, and it's not our employers are not involved. Any examples that we give is not examples from our employers. It's stuff that we read. And if you are like what we are talking about so far and our style, please
Mhm.
subscribe, like, and share. And please, we are new to this. If you have anything to comment, be nice. Please comment
Yes,
below. Comment down below. Judith is nice. She will not curse you out. I cannot promise about this.
and we do. We're new, and we're probably a little rough on the edges, but that's what makes it us. Because we are best friends, and we're just having a conversation. Because this is a conversation we would talk about on the phone to each other. We're just allowing
Yes,
you to listen in on our
yes.
conversation.
Thank you for joining us and look for our other videos and look for us for the coming year. It's going to be an exciting new year. Um,
Yes,
with healthcare and everything will happen. It's going to be very exciting. Yes, we only talk about healthcare. We don't talk about politics. Thank you.
yes, that's correct. Only healthcare, things that are related to healthcare.
Healthcare. Yeah,
If
politics
it's
if
related
it's
to
related to
related
healthcare.
to healthcare, correct,
Yes.
correct. But
Yeah, please go ahead.
once again, thank you so much for listening to us because we are best
Best
friends
friends on
on
drugs.
drugs.
Ta-da. Take care of you.
Bye bye. Till next time.